Alright, ladies and gents, had some weird technical problems, but I think we are ready to jump into this one very shortly. One sec. I don't know what the hell's going on with my PC right now. It's going a bit mental. But I think we're okay. You just missed the pistol, which I wholeheartedly apologise for, but I don't know what's happened with my PC. It wouldn't let me load the game, and then it was crashing, and then it wouldn't let me load the game again. GG, well played. Sick. So here we are. Astralis to pick the first pistol round up. And at the cost of 2 lives, one was planted as well, should be mentioned, from Penta, as you can see here. Again, apologies about that. So, we should be all good to go. Let's get this underway, shall we? So, Penta, currently 13th in the league. They've been having a bit of a rough time of it today. And indeed, the rest of the event. I actually casted them a week ago when they were playing against Heroic on Overpass, which is going to be the second map. It does have it on HLTV as the first map, but the maps today are Cash and then Overpass. And they beat Heroic in overtime, so we're very curious to see how they do against the Danish counterparts of Astralis today. But for the time being, it is going to be a case of Penta well and truly up against it. Pistols in mid, have the bomb in the hands of Lowell, who is going to be transitioning with it fairly slowly towards the A side, which is where Mike S is currently waiting. Meanwhile, Device is trying to tap his way to success from mid, up against Stefan, who really shouldn't be having a hope in hell's chance of getting a frag with the P250. And here come the kills. Device is going to have to try and wrap himself around the back. Penta, in fairness, have taken it down to a 3-on-3, but from here on out, it should be a bloodbath. Lola and Mike S do have their hands of FAMAS, but Mike S has no Kevlar behind it, so a couple of bullets and both these players are going to be very much dead and buried, and there we go. Device for the last two. Second bomb plant in succession, but Astralis will get the 2-0. This is going to allow Penta to have a really solid buy in their third round, better than you normally see. As a result of the 2 bomb plants, you can see they're about 5k across the board for each player. They could even go for a glass cannon AWP if they so chose, but they haven't. They're going to go for AKs instead. So, pretty simple, straightforward buy. Cheers, backspace. So I am actually casting solo tonight. I was supposed to be casting with Dust, but he's actually travelling to the UK, which I wasn't aware of until yesterday. So I'm going to be taking you solo tonight, see if we can get a replacement caster later on. Carrigan getting wrecked in checkered from the Molotov. Has to be careful, as the smoke is going to keep him alive for a few seconds longer. Low actually pushes out to get the better of Device, and Stefan's there one Carrigan, so much better out for Penta. After being able to buy a whole bunch of assault rifles, they have 3 of them intact. Just Kia B is against them, but he is such a powerful, potent player. First frag goes down in his favour. Lowell is very close to death, and that incendiary could actually end up burning him to a crisp. He just about darts away with 12 health. But let's keep it on board with Kirby, because he's the man in the clutch scenario. Grenade does negligible damage, just 14 in total, so he's going to be able to keep pushing forward. But the smokes are keeping him at bay, and every second it ticks is one that makes his job that much harder. But the first kill, again in this confrontation, goes his way, so he's already picked up 2 in this 1-on-3. He's picking up a third Kirby with 4 frags in the round. He's going to get the clutch and the defuse, and Astralis take a 3-0 lead. Penta will be disgusted with themselves. It was such a great start. 3-on-1, you should not be losing those. That does, however, mean that there's been 3 bomb plants and defuses so far on this side. So Penta will have enough funds to buy again. Well played, Kirby. Take a bow. Still early days, of course, here on Cash. This Device with his UMP will be pushing up. It should be mentioned as well, honestly, that Astralis lost 4 players in that round, so their funds aren't too great. They find themselves in a position, they got $0 on Zipniks, only 100 on Carrigan, so if they were to lose this, they'd be in a spot of bother as well. And still 3 smokes and 4 flashbangs, pardon me, to play with for Penta, so they can still try and get themselves and execute onto the site. Typically when you see this sort of investment and these many grenades, you do think that it's very possible for that A hit to come into fruition. I am basically in a position where I think I might be Kirby's lucky charm. Because when I'm not casting him, he does struggle. But every time I cast him, he pulls off these nuts plays. So maybe they should take me to every land and Astralis would win every major, confirmed. You heard it here first. Anyway, Penta are going to be going in. All guns blazing, as expected, onto the A site. The flashes are landing. Stefan gets wrecked in the head, but it's still somehow alive. But for how long is the question, because the CTs have the cross on lock. Kirby was alongside Device, but Device is going to get blocked out. Dupree now the next player to stand up and die. A 2-1-2, but Kirby's still with the cross. It's now 1-on-1. Crystal Scout up against the M4. Next bullet onto Kirby will pretty much kill him. It's a big ask. But Kirby's the kind of player that can deliver. Crystal is going to be hiding on the site itself. He's traded off the scout for an AK. Very much the correct play to come up with. A Kirby again with another clutch. 2 rounds back to back. Oh my goodness. 4-0. And I was curious where Crystal would be looking, because Kirby had taken so much time to wrap himself around the back of CT spawn that Crystal had no idea where he was. He was looking into highway, he was looking at forklift at one point, and it just came down to the timing. Astralis have got a 4-0. Again though, I find myself going over old grounds. Penta have another plant defused. Astralis lose 4 players, so we're pretty much in the same position as last round, where Penta have a bye, as do Astralis, but if Astralis lose this round, they're pretty much into an eco themselves. Look at their economy. 1,700 on Kirby, 1,400 Carrigan. Everybody else is broke. So although it's 4-0, and it looks pretty damn good for Astralis, it just takes that round win now, and Penta could leapfrog their way back into this. Much easier said than done, of course. Carrigan, you can see from his perspective that molly's not going to bother him a great deal. Oh, he actually lands the shot. That looked like it was a groin shot as well. Just to add insult to injury, a real ball buster onto Crystal, who's going to be feeling up for the foreseeable future. And that pretty much locks down B for now. So you can see instantly Dupree backs away after the opening pick. Carrigan's done his job. Still, Mike S. Let's jump on board with him. He's looking towards B. You can actually see the blood splatter of Crystal on the wall. It appears from where the bomb is currently transitioning that this could be a B hit after all. So Carrigan is going to have his aim tested again, you have to feel. The smoke keeps Checkered honest for now. Dupree's going to go out looking. That's going to get his life taken out of his hands, and Carrigan's been plucked out as well. This time it's up to Device. He's going to get 1 frag, and surprise, surprise, who's in the clutch situation. It's going to be that man Kirby, but there is a supporting act, and it's Zipnix. Can he, alongside Kirby, pull off what would be another ridiculous, heartbreaking round? Kirby's actually setting up for the exit. I think Astralis may just be looking for frags here and seeing if they can save the weapons. It doesn't seem like they have any interest in going in. They have no nades. So, yeah, they're just going to be holding in position for now, realising their economy's in a state where they'd have to save next round. And maybe have to force out a buy. Looks like the T's are going to be coming Kirby's way. How many can he take out, if any?
Terrorists win.
Spots the barrel of the gun sticking through. My guess is going to be a dead now. Will Stefan go peeking? No, he won't. And therefore, Astralis will keep 2 weapons alive. And this will allow them to buy, but it's not going to be a great buy. And the other thing that should be mentioned is that Penta have planted in each and every round. That's got to be a worrying trend for Astralis, that they've been unable to lock them out of any round so far. Even when they have been battered and bruised, they've got the bomb planted, which keeps their economy ticking forward. So you can see into this one, Device has a CZ. Does spot the head just peering over the boost, which will be Mike S. Sure, he's called that out for the rest of his team. We've seen this molly a couple of times as Crystal's used. The problem I have with this molly, honestly, is that they're not really following up on it. It does seem like a bit of a wasted investment. You're throwing a Molotov to force somebody out of position, but as soon as that molly clears, he can just walk straight back in again. And no one's going to pick him off on the cross if he is underneath vent. So, I don't know, I'm always a bit of a stickler for wasted utility. Kirby now, here's the squeaky door open. That gives away Tarson's position, but he's going to try and keep him busy while the rest of his team comes up through A main. So far, so good for Astralis. They've kept all their players alive, but this is where it's going to start to hurt. When the force comes in onto the site, they don't have a great deal of grenades to repel this one, but Kirby just holds down left click and picks up 2 frags. Defies to the close range, takes out his CZ, and just rips through Stefan's head. It's gone horribly wrong for Penta. The first round that they don't get a bomb plant is a round where Astralis have a real lackluster buy of a CZ, a UMP, and a couple of other straggling weapons. And they keep 4 players alive and convert a bunch of those across into their arsenal. Huge for Astralis, brutal for Penta, and you can see what impact that has on their economy now. It's pistols and not much else. So Penta have well and truly been reset. The lightning crackles out from Carrigan's hands, and we'll see Crystal dead and buried. A player that, alongside Mike S, you expect if they do run double AWP setups, will probably be the secondary AWPer. There's a slight clip on my mic. I'll look into that one, Brian. Just let me know. Mike S is going to be coming up through forklifts. Not long for this world, and UMP will be traded out. So another solid round for Astralis. Do let me know, guys, if there is issues with the mic or sound levels or whatever. I'll try and look into that for you. Maybe a case of me turning my mic down a little bit. So, solid round for Astralis. And another eco. I guess it was kind of more of a force committed round than the previous one. Penta will be ecoing into this. Again, they have a deagle. 3 P250s. They have 2 smokes and a molly to work off. In the meanwhile, Astralis will be holding fast. More of a passive defense this time. Carrigan is peeking, but his teammate can see here Dupree's lining up the molly in case he gets overrun. And again, it's going to be the AWP just raining in 2 frags for Carrigan. He's forced out into the open as a result of the molly landing by his feet. So he pretty much is just trying to stand his ground and take as many frags down with him as possible. So his damage is going to be a big factor into Astralis surely taking this round. I can't see how Penta pick it up from here. Mike S has the AWP, and down he will go. So Astralis with a 7-1 lead will regain the AWP. Now Penta will have a bye. Medicine is co-caster. Loneliness. I've solo casted a bunch of times, bros. We got this. If we have slow rounds, I'll probably just go to chat to like answer questions and chill with you guys. I'm going to be casting 4 maps tonight, so towards the end it can get a bit rough, but for now we're okay. Sounds broken. You guys never fail to troll, do you? Excellent. Again, we've seen this before. Carrigan is going to get mollied and actually throws his smoke way too late, so he loses 28 of his... Well, sorry, he's on to 28, so he loses 72 of his health. I mean, that's considerable amounts of damage that could have been avoided. Now, of course, there's no way for Penta to know this and to try and capitalize on it, but just watch out for that in the future. If he gets hit once by a pistol or something, he could very well end up going down, and it could have been avoided. Crossfire has been set up from Zipnix and Carrigan onto A. But it's going to be Mike S elsewhere on the map from Kirby, who was peering up before. He's up on the boost, or thereabouts, so he gets picked off in mid, and that's going to open up things. This does force Carrigan's hand, as you can see now, to move into mid to make up for that weakness and the gap in their defense, and this leaves them spread more thin on B as a result. So definitely something to watch out for as this round progresses on into the latter stages. 35 seconds left. Penta will have to start to get a move on. can see from Zipnex's perspective that all hell breaks loose, and of course the curse of the commentator comes through. Everyone has shift 2 for Astralis ends up dying almost instantly, and this is where Carrigan can't push through the Molotov to potentially peek. I don't think he would anyway. If it was like a 3-on-3, then I think he probably would try, but a 2-on-5 is not worthwhile. And so they will be trying to get themselves a save. But you can see from Crystal's perspective that he's heard the footsteps. He knows there's at least one CT player scampering around this side of the map. When you look at the economy of Penta, very little money to play with, so they can't really afford to throw away any AKs here either, which is why instead of Crystal going and charging and playing super aggro here, channeling is in the Rambo. Instead he's just sat in position and pretty happy to take the AK into the 10th round, which we'll see Penta pick up a second round here, so 7-2. Not fantastic start by any means, but when you have a look at the scoreboard and you see 4 defused sites in a row, it does paint a picture of how close some of these were. Kirby clutched 2 rounds back-to-back in round 3 and 4 on low health, brilliant clutches. And if he hadn't done that, honestly, this could be a very, very different scoreline. You could be looking at more of like a 4-4 sort of scoreline right now. 5-4, maybe even in favour of Penta. So it goes to show how important those clutches were. Really allowing the CT economy to get established. And in doing so, ruining the terrorist economy. But second round has came in. You can see the economy again. Astralis isn't too fantastic on a few players. So they'll be in a position to potentially eco if they can't save weapons through into this. If they were to lose it, of course, which is much easier said than done. So, slow rounds, Penta taking their sweet time. To be fair, most of their T rounds so far have been this slow. They haven't really played anything too aggressively. They've got some set plays towards the A site. Been quite explosive at the end, but that pop flash is on point. You can see Stefan actually turning away for a second and then realising that he had spotted a player there. So picks him up. It's really Kirby who's been there before. He did get picked off in mid, which opened up the A site nicely, which ultimately cost them that round. So maybe Kirby will have half a mind to play more passive in the future, or maybe put 2 players aggressively in mid so they can watch each other's back. Either way, Astralis have pulled back a frag of their own, but you can see now the mid-aggression is coming in. If Carrigan looks to highway, there should be a couple of players for him to spot. There's the first one. Going to be flashing over. Meanwhile, Zipnix is coming on from the car. He's going to get the sprayed on the first player. Looking for the second one, but Tarsin does answer back. Device with the next headshot. Mykes misses a point back range shot, and the second one. It's going to cost him his life. Mykes is going to be bitterly disappointed that he didn't do better. He is top fragging for Penta, the only player who has an equal kill-to-death ratio, but still, those are 2 shots he should be landing and could have opened up the round potentially. But as it stands, not for the first time, the economy somewhat reset for Penta. They're able to force up a buy here, but it's not great. And Astralis will have themselves another AWP in the hands of Carrigan. Kirby 13-6, Device 10-5, 2 top fraggers on the scoreboard. Seen this molly before, but again, look what happens. Crystal throws the molly in, and now he's waiting. It doesn't really do anything, so it feels like a bit of a wasted investment, honestly. He's now going to walk in and just get picked off for free through the smoke. Dupree is never going to have his back turned to that location, and now Carrigan again invents. Is just going to have the run of the mill. There's nothing that Penta seem to be able to do on this B site. I've got a question, miss. I mean, Yanko actually made a video on this very topic about executes. The likes of Nip have done this quite a lot. They'll throw Molotovs into checkered and they'll all push it together and they'll make sure they get anybody that's stuck in checkered with the Molotov. As I'm talking, it's complete cleanup from Astralis. I mean, nothing in this round to really talk about for Penta. But he went in great detail about this, how they'd get a molly into the likes of checkered, they get a second one on the boxes of checkered, and they push in together and make sure that anyone that was in checkered just gets kills instantly. You see Penta time and time again, they throw a Molotov into vents, but then no one's pushing it. No one's even spamming through the smoke to make sure that if Crystal tries... Sorry, not Crystal. Carrigan tries to escape, he gets fragged. And so I'm just curious as to what's going on here. It's like there's no cohesion in their aggression. At least not on their B side. We've seen them do a couple of standard set plays through mid and A. But their attacks have seemed to be a bit toothless. Astralis now up against an ecoed out Penta. Only 3 P250s, nothing else, no nades into this round. Bomb still dropped out in garage. And as expected, an easy cleanup for Astralis on the horizon. Barring a huge misplay. Zipnix with 2 spray down Kirby's there as well. There we go, flawless round. Astralis will take the 10th. Come on, Penta, what have you got in store for us? I want to see a fast hit. I want to see something special. I want to see something different here because you've been coasting. And Astralis are too good a team to be taken lightly like that. I'd like to see something different here because the standard plays just haven't been working. This is where you go into that plan B mindset. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I like that Carrigan's got aggressive. This is the first time we've seen him do this. Typically, he'll play real slow. Maybe the callers came through for Astralis that Penta would change something up. Tarson, I believe, just derped his smoke. I think that bounced off the wall and back towards the T side of A. But either way, Kirby's on his own on catwalk and he gets taken down. So a faster play does reap the rewards. A heavy B presence for Astralis, looking for an aggressive play, but instead it's going to be A where it's hit. And there's Zipnix with 1 spray down for himself. Mycast with the Tech 9 will return the favour onto Dupree, leaving Crystal with a pretty big kill onto Device. If he got the worst of that trade, it would be a 3-on-3 retake in effect. The grenades are landing by quad. And you can see that the terrorists are struggling for health, and Zipnix plucks out the head. And looking for a second one, he lands onto Crystal. Keeping the dream alive, but now it's all on him. And the Molly plus AK equals round for Penta. Their 3rd in total. But I've got to say that Astralis may have just misread the situation, leaving Kirby by himself on the site. On catwalk with no one else there to help him was a bit light on A. And Penta converted in kind. I found it weird how he pronounced garage. How else am I supposed to pronounce it? So yeah, NT, Zipnix, chat appreciated that. Unfortunately though for the Danes, he will subside at the bitter end. Penta with a 3rd round. Tech 9 in the hands of Crystal, but as you can see, he sacrificed the firepower for more nades. Passing straight out, gets the opening pick, and again, just the 1 player on A. This time it's Zipnix. Carrigan is going to have to get a move on from the B site. Kirby, in the meanwhile, is watching from highway, but he has to keep alive until the rest of his team has managed to get their way around. You can see Dupree is still in the vents. He's waiting for a potential garage flank, and he is going to find Mycast. So patience proving to be a virtue, and now they've got to stamp their authority down. They have 2 incendiaries, so if they throw these to the likes of quad and 1 maybe A main, that could force the terrorists out into precarious positions, which is what they're trying to do right here, right now. The terrorists at this point haven't really shown their hand too much, and that's going to be really important. And all the kills are going their way. Kirby's in another clutch, but he doesn't have the right amount of time to get this one done. He's going to get a couple of exit frags, but will meet his demise. And Penta have done something they've been unable to do the entire half, and that's get 2 rounds back to back. So they will land on a 4th. If they can get a 5th, who knows? Maybe there's still life left in this Penta squad, but much work has to be put in before we reach that stage. Kirby on 20 for 7. Like a boss. Guessing... I'm English. Garage. That's how you say it in the northeast of England, then. Tomato type thing, I guess. Anywho, so the last 2 rounds that Penta have picked up has been as a result of 1 player on A, and guess what? We have it again. This time it's going to be Zipnix, who gets at least 1 kill before he falls. Just watch out for Lowell. He could be the difference maker. He's managed to scamper his way through the smoke, and now round the back of Kirby will get the first frag. Silence them 4 as well, so CT's aren't entirely sure where he was. And this allows Lowell to now play the mind games and scamper away. And you can see what this does to the retake. Astralis can't all focus their attention onto behind them because they've got to go for the bomb, and in doing so, Lowell now should have the free pick onto Carrigan. And there we go. Big play from Lowell, keeping it alive. And Penta looking like they will secure a 5th round on the T side. Dupree lands the first headshot. 3 more should follow if he wants to clutch this. And it's not going to happen. Fair play to Penta. This was looking like it was completely out of arm's reach. Totally gone. Totally in the dumps. In the fire. But they somehow pulled it out somewhat. It's still burning though. They've got to douse the flames. They are at least on the CT side. Maybe if they can get a couple of solid rounds after the pistol. That's assuming they win it. Then they're right back in this. But Astralis will still be firm favourites. Who's the caster? Metis. How you doing? Ah, Harry. Got you. Got you. Sorry. I thought you were saying you thought I was American. I was like, I have heard that before. Which is weird because I think I sound pretty English. AKA Budget Anders. Can call me that if you want. It's all good. So yeah, I'm solo casting tonight, guys. If you want to have quite an interactive chat, then go for it. In the slower rounds, I'll definitely chat with you guys. Are you in the chat? I am indeed. Stormtrooper. Probably saying that wrong. Budget Anders. I'll take that too, I guess. Anders is Danish. Indeed he is. What's the new boost? To be completely honest, I haven't had a chance to look through them all yet because I just got back from Romania yesterday. So I've been pretty busy travelling and stuff. And obviously, DreamHack Bucharest, the event that I just got back from, was on the old patch before the new one came out. But from my understanding, there are some changes in the settings that now allow you to self-boost in positions you'd normally need someone else to boost you in. So for example, in Window and Mirage, you can now jump up by yourself, whereas before obviously you needed someone to boost you up. That's my understanding. I may be incorrect. As I said before, I haven't really had a chance to look through all of it myself just yet. Are you part of Room on Fire? I am indeed, NASA. Can you sing for us? No one wants that, bro. Trust me. Is that you in DreamHack? Yes, it was, sir. There was me, Anders, Henry, and Sadipus there. They were the casters, and then it was Machine on the hosts, Sponge, and Yanko were the analysts. How long have you been casting in general? Like 8 years, I think. I've casted a bunch of different games. Am I from Finland? No, sir. I'm not going to sing for you guys. I'm trying to save my voice for the rest of the night. Then tomorrow I'm casting as well. And then the day after that I'm travelling. So it's rough times ahead, boys. Rough times ahead. Anyway, the reason you guys are here, not to hear me sing, but to watch the game. Second pistol round has commenced. We'll see Astralis. Interestingly enough, a declaration of intent. I've dropped the bomb back here, which suggests they're not going to be going for any fast, cheeky plays. They are looking for a potential pick. They're looking for Penta to almost hang themselves into a trap. So Astralis will very likely play this one relatively slowly. Maybe try and throw a fake out of the likes of Zipnix, who is currently on squeaky, making a bit of a nuisance and a bit of a noise. And then Astralis will go back, salvage the bomb, and we'll see more of an explosive end to this round. That's my prediction. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. My guess, your player with the kit is actually by himself on B, and you can see that the vast bulk of the CTs are over on the A site, so this could get a bit sketchy. And the fact that Penta have taken no control at all over mid has allowed Kirby to get himself into highway, and now the action is ensuing off the site. Stefan and Tassin have done a pretty solid job of keeping this alive for now. But again, mid is the Achilles heel device in mid. He's about to get forced down. Down he'll go. Meanwhile, Kiabi is now forcing on the site. So, the explosion comes in onto the B side of the map. Mike S darting back and forward. You can see his head just peering over the heaven arch. Tarsin's been tagged a couple of times there from the Deagle. Down to 46 he will fall. And meanwhile, Kiabi's teammate of Dupree is all that remains as Kiabi gets picked off, and there is Mike S for the last one. So the first box has been ticked. Penta will take second pistol. Can they hold on to the momentum though? Franks 42. Do I know you, Franks 42? Have I been trolled? DreamHack Leipzig. Dude. I got like a quick flashback of DreamHack Leipzig there. Man, that was such a sick clutch, wasn't it? And he's on 22 for 9, boys. Kirby is in that kind of form where he can take a game away. And hold on a second. It's a retake for A. Penta have effectively just given up the site completely. Now, I understand this in a pistol round, but you're on a full buy, boys. Astralis just got the freest of plants. What is happening? They're still going to retake the site more than likely, but all Astralis were hoping for in this round was a bomb plant, and they just got gift wrapped that. This now allows their next round to be a really solid buy. I get being defensive, but you can be too defensive there, Penta. They pick up the round nonetheless. Maybe that goes to show that their confidence isn't sky high at this point. Crystal, who's normally a player that they look to bag himself a bunch of kills, he's on 4 for 14. Back when Penta had the likes of Tabson, Crystal actually was one of their star players, or at least he was a player that would consistently be towards the top of the scoreboard. That's a bit worrying. The spam through mid is going to do 12 damage to Mike S, who was scurrying up, and you can see the difference in how these CT sides have been approaching. Penta looking for a boost. There's two of them here, you can see Stefan and Mike S. I thought they may go for a boost, but instead thinking better of it. And meanwhile, some noise has been made, and actually they're not going to go for the boost, they're going to go for the cheeky two-man Death Squad push through into Garage, and Terrorists don't have any idea what's hitting them right now. Device gets spotted, as does Dupree, but the shoe's on the other foot now, as the two counter-terrorists who push Garage have been spotted themselves. They do get the first frag in this encounter and trying to dart their way back. Stefan's going to throw the grenade, actually bounces off the ring container and wrecks himself. It's Clown School Counter-Strike. Awkward. You could see what he was going for, and if it landed, he could have done so much damage there with that nade. Instead, he ended up wrecking himself. Device with the quick snap over onto Tarsin. Not much damage. And in the meanwhile, Stefan, who derped the nade, is now into vents. Down he goes, though. We'll get the frag, nonetheless. It's been a strange round of Counter-Strike, and now the re-rotation as Astralis will wrap themselves onto A, and this has caught the counter-terrorists out a little bit. Crystal, a man that I was highlighting that needed to start to perform a little bit better, does get a key frag, but it's still a 3-on-2 as Astralis have the bomb planted. It's going to be a rough hold, however. Carrigan on quads. Zipnix has gone into A main. The bomb is actually planted for A main here. It's planted for both players, effectively, so Carrigan looking at the nades for Penta. They have basically none. They'd like to have a HE or an incendiary at this point. Stefan's going to go for the pre-fire. Carrigan's looking to the side. This is all going to come down to timing. It's gone down to 1-on-1 now. Carrigan up against Crystal, who goes in. He's been tagged incredibly lowly. He gets picked off as he drops the weapon. Clearly out of ammunition. Astralis will take their first round on the T side. And it is a nightmare for Penta. They're going to have enough for another buy. Mike S has an AWP. And they're going to have a few rifles behind it, but they are on borrowed time, on borrowed money, and the bank is breathing down their necks. Can Astralis come to collect, though? Look at this aggression. Straight through the smoke. Dupree fears no man. Device now looking over to B. grenades. Looked like he could have completely obliterated Device down to 51. 4 on 4. Not too many grenades to play with. Tossing only with the decoy. Got a HE, a flash, and a smoke. They do have a kit at least, but I have to feel that it's only a matter of time before the Danes start to aggress onto the site. Again, though, they are keeping their cards close to their chest. They're not giving anything away just yet. Starting to funnel away through into mid once again. As you can see here, Kirby taking the bomb in first. Carrigan is going to be peeking onto the B side. And now the vent's been popped again. It's that safety net. The CTs now know exactly what's coming at them. And watch for the two CTs, which is Lowell and Stefan on A, to quickly get themselves rotating. Mike S has done a valiant job so far of keeping himself alive with the one frag, but eventually there's just too many guns pointed his way, and down he will fall. Hail of gunfire in a blaze of glory. Zipnix is low. So is Kirby. Oh, Lowell actually gets the frag through the smoke. And with Zipnix being at such an incredibly minuscule amount of health, it just takes one stray bullet for him to die, and then this is right back on for Penta. Carrigan is the linchpin you have to feel. The first frag goes his way in this 2-on-2, and now Lowell with the FAMAS sees the defuse kit drop right in front of his eyes, which you have to assume he's going to need to pick up if he wants to clutch this round. Time is running scarce. He spots the hip of Zipnix peeking around the corner a couple of times. He was trying to keep him interested. Lowell up, looking at the ground so he wouldn't peek over headshot, but it's not going to matter. Carrigan is on point. The AK frag lands 12-7. Penta in an eco situation. Will he follow through with the eco? I assume they will. They'll have decent amounts of round loss bonus coming into the next round. They don't need to double eco at this point. However, the next round is not going to be a fantastic buy. I mean, that's assuming they don't get that many kills in this round or don't save any weapons. Device out with the UMP expendable weapon, but actually double spray downs will be money in the bank. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth. Lowell, USP, Dupree and Device both a click away from death, but so could Kirby. If he doesn't lock this down in time, he will do just that. 13-7, Astralis looking good. This is going to be one of the last chances for Penta now to have a really solid buy to start to mount a comeback. You can see it's going to be without an ult, which Mike S does like to use as much as possible. He is the only player on the side of Penta who has more kills than deaths. And still, Kirby is not slowing down. He had 20 frags at the end of the first half. He now is on 26 and 4 assists. You'd assume the way he's been playing it, he's definitely dropped the 30. Kirby rushing mid, calling it. Execute, you just got wrecked, bruh. No mid rush was seen today. I got excited when he said I would be reading chat and talking with chat. Then you're on YouTube. Get wrecked. Twitch chat, of course, that's talking right. Well, when you have such a high percentage of the players over on A, it can only be one thing, and that's a lot of action, a lot of bloodshed. Mike S with double spray down, seeming doesn't need the AWP. 3 kills in total for him. Carrigan, last player left, gets picked off courtesy of Tarsin's mid-peak up highway. 13-8. Astralis have enough to buy easily. Are they going to go for an AWP? Be curious to see if Carrigan goes for it. Yes, he will. I think that's going to get dropped across to him eventually. Went into the hands of Zipnix. There we go. He had a lot of impact kills on the CT side, but T side's a whole different ball game, of course. I read chat while you were wrong. I'm sorry, bro. Hey, better to guess and be wrong than say nothing at all. Sound's still broken. Please fix. You're gonna need to be a bit more specific, mate, on how it's broken. And keep in mind, if you now answer me, it proves you're full of trash, mate. Next level mind games, get wrecked. Dupree's into checkers. Kill for him. Pretty easy going. And now you can see from the benefit of the minimap that B is completely open, barring Stefan, who quickly rotated in. But he's going to have to go to the low side, and Crystal, meanwhile, will put down Carrigan. This now allows him control over vents. That keeps a mind for Astralis onto the vent side. They can't take it for granted anymore. Kirby pushing smoke again. Plays. Sprayed through the wall. Mike S landed every shot. Device goes down, and that's really significant. This now takes away the control over Checker. This funnels them both in to precarious positions, and Kirby, if he's not careful, will get flanked round the back to where Lowell is lurking. So Mykes's frag could mean everything. Kirby, though, puts down the hammer, and that's on to Dupree. First kill goes his way, but no more will be picked off. And again, I go back to that wall bang that changed everything in a blink of an eye. Penta just about hold on.
Counter-terrorists win.
But Chanders don't get lippy. Mate. It's going to be okay. So, Penta proving to be tougher than I expected. I thought when we got towards 13-8 scoreline, this would be over fairly quick. But Penta holding on. Keep in mind, they are currently second bottom. The only team that is worse off is Flipside, who are currently 0-8 in the league. Which is, yeah, not great. Let's Flipside, Penta, Hellraisers, the bottom three. We are going to be watching Hellraisers play after this one against Dignitas, which proved to be a pretty enjoyable matchup. Mykes with the opening pick, Dupree goes down. One of the first times we've really seen Penta take the aggression on the CT side and actually get the opening pick, so hopefully that bodes well for the comeback. 3 players stacked on A. Penta being hyper-aggressive with the pop flash into the peak. Stefan bests Carrigan. And it would appear that Penta on the brink of maybe breaking the economy of Astralis, who are looking so tall and pretty just a few rounds ago. Zipnix was the next player to fall. And this is great for Penta. If not only can they win this round, but keep all their players alive. Just what the doctor ordered for their comeback remedy. Kirby will fall. Great round, Penta. Congratulations. That is a full-on wreckage of a full-buying Astralis. So, no eco to be seen. That was weapons across the board. And Penta just locked it down. Predictions, guys. So, we've got Cashed and Overpass. What do you reckon? Do we think Astralis are going to convert this and pick up the second map? Do we think Penta could throw a spanner in the works? I'll be curious to see what you guys say. And give me a scoreline prediction too in chat. Let's see who's right. Normally casters wouldn't read chat, bro, but I'm solo casting this evening, so you're effectively my co-caster. Collectively, you're my co-caster. Here comes the play. Astralis going to be running into smokes and grenades. There's going to be complete decimation. Crystal with a double. And Carrigan alongside Dupree are good for a kill, but it's a drop in the ocean. Penta now 3, make that 4 rounds in a row. Mykes, who was, I'm pretty sure he was 17 for 16 the last time I checked. He's now 24 and 18. Dude has been going nuts. 16-14 here, 16-7 on Overpass. Alrighty. 16-14, that's actually not a bad shout. The way the Penta have been playing, I think they could pull this back a few more rounds for sure. I feel like Astralis' experience and just raw talent should see them through this map, but there's no doubting that Penta have shifted into a new gear with Mykes at the helm. Which is surprising because when we saw him earlier on in mid, when he missed those 2 sitters, I thought it didn't bode well because he is their primary AWPer. But hey, I'm always happy to be proven wrong. And Mykes certainly has done that. Let's see if he can keep up the pace. Again, more relaxed defense of the A side. Here he definitely saw Stefan, but maybe wasn't assuming that he'd push so aggressively. Maybe thinking Stefan would back away. Bomb planted, so much smoke. The gas has been deployed. And Penta don't want no part of it just yet. It's going to wait for it to subside. Dupree is boosting. Looking for the taps, finally lands one onto Tarsin, who's just running across. Kind of surprising. You have to assume with 4 players left, they'd go for this boost. To me, that seems very, very just crazy. I can't even think of the right word. Just nuts. 3 on 3. Device, 52 health left. Is the next to fall. The spray down Stefan with 2. Penta, what is going on? It's going to be very close, but they might have this one. Oh, it's going to be so close. They do just about have it. Penta clutch. In the blink of an eye, Astralis, what was it, a 4 on 3 after the pick? End up losing it. Now the pause comes in, which I can only assume is going to be called by Astralis after 5 rounds in a row. So yeah, that just happened. Stafford with double spray down to take out Astralis, and I'm going to give everybody that predicted before a chance to change their minds. Asked you for a prediction, you will shop them out very quickly. Is there anybody after seeing that previous round, or the previous 2 rounds, that wants to maybe switch their prediction to a Penta? This is your last chance, and then we're sticking there. I wouldn't blame you. 16-13, 16-7 Astralis. Dudes, if you put 16-14, you might want to tell me which side you're going for. I'm not quite a mind reader. I'd love to be, in some aspects. Actually, no, I wouldn't. That would be awful. You'd always know what people were thinking all the time. I take that back. That would be a terrible superpower. I stay at 16-13 Penta. So you think they're going to go on from here and be flawless and win. 16-15. That's great banter. It really is. Top quality banter. Astralis 16-13. Astralis. So you're calling it's going to go overtime, and then you're calling that Astralis will take the 4-0 in overtime. Dude, that's ballsy. Wait. Dude, your name's nuts. I'm going to call you Willem. Okay? Willem. Or Wilhelm. I'm not sure. That's pretty ballsy, bro. We'll see. Pause resumed. Back into the fray we shall go. Device and Lowell, just a smoke away from one another. Kind of romantic in a way, except completely not, because they're trying to kill each other. And not for the first time now. Penta will be forcing their way up B, just looking for a push. We saw Carrigan and Dupree do this when Astralis were on the CT side. Carrigan's going to come back. Speak of the man for the frag. Oh, Zipix with a double spray down will return the favour through the smoke too. Beautiful work, just going for the preemptive strike onto quad, which is a very intelligent play. He's already in a precarious position. He wanted to make sure that no one pushed from the smoke, and now it's all on Crystal. So the pause has been a blessing. The Crystal does get a quick fire double. He gets the kill into Carrigan with a molly, while also batting off with the M4 frag. Out of context, batting off maybe not the wisest choice of words, Vince, but let's just go with it. Zipnix in the meanwhile could be spraying through and another smoke frag. Vac. Astralis called the pause so Zipnex could toggle, and then the frags came in. Penta just got destroyed. I know you can see his legs, boys. Chillax. I also didn't actually mean he triggered, alright? So let's all just take a chill pill. So here we go. Can Penta hold on for dear life? They're in a position. Both teams are in a position. Look at that economy. Nobody is Donald Trumping this right now. Everyone's struggling for money. And so this could effectively be a 2-for-1 round. If Astralis win, they could just be coasting to a 16-12 victory. If Penta win, maybe we have overtime on the horizon. Don't worry, you already reported him. Thanks, Andreas. You got my back. My guess. Pick onto Carrigan. That is pretty huge. Carrigan has had a decent second half. You can see there, though, that his stats aren't necessarily the greatest, but he's been there when it's counted. Again, though, control over mid has by and large been given away for free to the side of the Danes. Astralis will be taking the most of this and going through vent with it, so that puts a lot of pressure down on Crystal's shoulders, who must be hearing the smokes and the pitter-patter of footsteps all around him. He is behind enemy lines at this point, but look at Tarsin pushing through the smoke with a flashbang and balls on this guy. How was he able to move? Listen, scraping along the floor. Crystal with a double, and Kirby now is like, you what, mates? What the hell just happened? We had the B execute. We had everything go away, but they didn't factor in for the random Tarsin Stewie 2K push. And as I called before, it could be a 2-for-1 round. Astralis have no money to play with. Penta should be equalising. Should being the key word. The amount of times in recent memory I've seen a team with the likes of 2 Deagles and not much else still get the upper hand is absolutely nuts. So I'm assuming nothing. At smoke. 0 out of 10. Still gets the kill courtesy of Tarsin. I'm pretty sure he didn't get the first smoke. I think it was meant to bounce off the wall. Could be wrong, of course. Wouldn't be the first time. Definitely won't be the last. Stefan's going to be pushing up highway. Does spot the shadow. The device shadow betrays him. Damn that cursed sun. And now Dupree's the next to fall. That leaves Ipnex and Carrigan with the horrific task of clutching. They did get the bomb plant again, which is super surprising. Ipnex, hello, 2 Glock headshots. Why not? But it will see Penta take a 14th. At least we've got a bit of action in that round, boys. Double Glock headshots. Dominated. Do I hear Metis? You do indeed. How you doing? Rip my prediction. Feels bad, man. I don't know. When I asked you guys, I think it was like 13-8, right? So for anyone that called it to be a close finish, kudos to you, even if you got it wrong. Because I honestly did not think this would get close. I thought it would be like 16-9, 16-10 maybe at most. So don't worry. I would have been totally wrong too. We can all be wrong together. Astralis throwing over the smoke so you can see the arches. The X-ray arches. And this is going to force Tarsin's hand to go away. Now Carrigan is going to be selling this by himself, but they have to be simultaneously hitting the other one at the same time, or this completely falls flat on its face, and Crystal's in the perfect place. He can get the spray. Nearly a double. Dupree will answer back. Nearly ends up TKing his mate, because why the hell not? Zipnex was the man. First headshot goes his way, looking for a spray down. Can't get it, and Penta are now a footstep away from taking this map 16-14, which for me would be a huge upset. Astralis would have been the firm favourites coming into this to take both maps tonight of Cache and Overpass. But as it stands, 4 pistols, although they are Tech 9s, which is effectively the most broken of weapons, and a UMP to save them. Pray to the RNG gods, Astralis, that those bullets are landing into heads. Kia B, close range, low on the other side of the smoke. Position we haven't actually seen Penta use a great deal so far. Not up on the boost, but actually on the barrel. So it's these kind of angles that you probably check in matchmaking, but they can definitely catch the top players out because you expect a player to maybe be on the boost as opposed to the barrel. But Lowell gets cold feet and decides to back away instead. Doesn't want to give his life away needlessly. Yeah, Brian, go for it. Link your Twitter if you want. Lowell the Memal on the quartz. Molly's all around him. He's on an island of fire. But will be alive for now. The Tech 9's going all around him. We can see 2 players are very low. How much damage can Lowell do before he inevitably dies? I say inevitably dies, and there we go, he will. Finally, 4 on 2 though. Now Crystal's going to be dying around the side. It's not looking good. Astrala's going to go down. They're actually going to end up losing this map. Penta take it 16-14. I don't even